Today we're working Psalm 37. In magic, Psalm 37 is frequently used to overcome jealousy, to render an enemy impotent, to end the habit of fault finding, to soothe and quiet the nerves, and to end gossip. I love all of those things, but I like the idea of rendering an enemy impotent. So you have an enemy out there, and you want to take away their power to harm you? This is the psalm for you. The way we work psalm magic is very simple and effective. We take the psalm in question and we recite it out loud all the way through once without stopping. This is called an incantation in this tradition. Then we go back through that same psalm line by line, verse by verse, and we look for the hidden occult meanings that exist within each of those verses. And then we apply whatever we brought to the psalm to what we find there, and it's through all of this, digging, searching, applying, we take those magic seeds of wisdom that we find and plant them in the depths of our minds, where they take root, they grow, they blossom forth, and then they bear fruit after their kind. And that's what we're going to do right now, you and I together with Psalm 37. Buckle in. This is a long one. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth the righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow, to cast down the poor and the needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume. Into smoke shall they consume away. The wicked borroweth and payeth not again, but the righteous showeth mercy and giveth. For such as be blessed of him shall inherit the earth, and they that be cursed of him shall be cut off. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. I have been young, and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. He is ever merciful and lendeth, and his seed be blessed. Depart from evil and do good, and dwell forevermore. For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever. But the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land, and dwell therein forever. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. The law of his God is in his heart, none of his steps shall slide. The wicked watcheth the righteous, and seeketh to slay him. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on the Lord, and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright. For the end of that man is peace. But the transgressors shall be destroyed together. The end of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord. He is their strength in the time of trouble. And the Lord shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them, because they trust in him. This is an acrostic psalm. So if you're looking at the Hebrew version of this psalm, you'll see that each verse starts with a different Hebrew letter. Anytime that we have an acrostic psalm, we know that there's a great magic going on in the psalm. Now, the way that this psalm is written, it's not written in the normal way as a prayer, but as a bunch of wisdom being given to us, line after line of wisdom. So, let's get through. It says, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against workers of iniquity." So, you don't have to worry about what they're doing. That's really hard for us, isn't it? We don't have to worry about what we are calling our enemies out there, the people that are going up against us. We don't have to worry about what they're doing. Infinite intelligence has this. And in fact, sometimes when we get involved in something that we're trying to protect ourselves or defend ourselves or what have you, we end up interfering with the healing of the situation. We don't have to be envious of what people have. Sometimes it seems, oh, they're really awful people, and still look at how much money they have. Look how well they're living. They never seem to have any problems. And here I just always do the right thing, and I'm up against one problem after the next. We need to look at those thought forms within our minds and allow ourselves to give those to infinite intelligence to undo for us, because those are not accurate thought forms. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. So there's two things here. First of all, there are inner enemies, and those are mostly what we have to focus on. You may have people in your life that are big problems, and your mind will tell you they are what's important. We'll deal with our own stuff later, but they are what's important. But in Psalm Magic, we understand that we have to work on the thought forms within us, and that will take care of what we consider to be a problem in the physical world. So they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. All of the negative thought forms, all of those enemy thought forms within us that are actively creating these experiences will be cut down. But we have to stop watering them. We have to stop fertilizing them. We have to stop nurturing them. Trust in the Lord and do good, so thou shalt dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. If you put your trust in infinite intelligence rather than in the problem, then the healing is instantaneous. It's not so much that we're blaming ourselves for the problems, but we have to understand that we do have a love affair with the problems that we have. We do believe on some level that we are in love with the problem, if only in that we give it more attention than we give the infinite. We give it more attention. And so that's what we mean by loving it more. It's not so much that we are in love with the problem, but we tend to it, we give it attention. It has so much of our energy, it has so much of our power wrapped up in what do I do about this, and what do I do about that, and how can I handle this, and how can I handle that. Instead, if we can put all of our faith in the infinite to take care of it for us and put our focus on the infinite completely, all of that starts to just take care of itself. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Delight yourself in the infinite. Who is the Lord? What's the Lord? The Lord is the source of all that is. It's not a guy. It's not some dude. It's the power of the infinite. There's no gender-specific deity there. It's pre-gender. It's not some deity with a name. It's not Jehovah, the God up in the sky that's the daddy that can reward or punish you. It's bigger than that. It's much more sophisticated than that. It is the force, the singular source of all that is, and there is nothing to oppose it. And since there's nothing to oppose it, whatever is for it, nothing can be against. So you're in good company. If you put all of your delight in the Lord in this regard, if you delight in the idea of what that power is and just consume yourself with that power, then all of your desires will be brought to pass. All the desires of your heart, the desires of your soul, that's what your heart is. Not your passing lusts, not necessarily all your appetites, but everything that brings you joy. Everything that makes you happy, everything that fulfills your destiny here. And also then will remove everything in your path that thwarts your destiny here. Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. You got to commit yourself to this. It's a daily, momentary, sometimes moment by moment, recommitting. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. You want the judgment of infinite intelligence on you because infinite intelligence's judgment of you is true. Your judgment is faulty at this point because you are still at odds with yourself. But infinite intelligence is not confused about who you are. You are perfect the way you were created. But then again, so are your so-called enemies. What's imperfect are the thought forms that are running amok here. And those will be taken care of. But you are always protected. You and your righteousness is who you really are. That's always protected. And it says it will bring it forth. That means you're going to see it. You're going to see how perfect you are and how perfect your life is. You don't have to do anything. In fact, your doing is what's delaying its coming. What you have to do is put your attention on infinite intelligence and let go of your defenses and allow infinite intelligence to bring this about for you. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Huge verse there. Rest in the Lord. How often do you do that? How often do you just think, I'm not going to worry about a thing. Infinite intelligence has me. I'm just going to be in infinite intelligence. I'm going to let go completely in it and let go of all my defenses and not try to fix anything, not try to do anything. I'm just going to allow infinite intelligence to completely take over. And I'm going to do nothing but rest. Rest. And I don't have to worry, it says, because of people that prosper that don't seem to deserve it. I don't have to worry about people that seem to be coming after me. I don't have to worry about people that seem to be so evil and wicked because it's all being taken care of. And the best thing that I can do is put my focus on infinite intelligence and let go. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. You don't have to be mad about them. In fact, that's how the ego gets us. Aren't you angry that it's so unfair? Aren't you angry about how bad they are? Doesn't that piss you off? How awful this is? You don't deserve this. Who do they think they are? Etc., etc. And it's saying, don't do that. That's a trick. That's a trick to keep you stuck in it. You're never going to overcome your enemies like that. The only way to overcome your enemies is to leave it to infinite intelligence. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. How do you wait upon the Lord? There's two ways. One way is exactly what we've been talking about. You rest in the Lord. You let go, and you let infinite intelligence take over and do what infinite intelligence does. Another way you wait on the Lord is like a food server, like a waiter or waitress. You serve the Lord. That means that at every moment you are asking, how can I be of service? What would you have me do? Where do you want me to go? How do you want me to say things? What do you want me to say? Who do you want me to say it to? So there's two ways to wait upon the Lord. And then you shall inherit the earth, meaning that you will have your inheritance. Your inheritance is to have everything. There's nothing that will be withheld from you. everything good. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. Just a little while. You don't have to worry about, but it's not working. It's not working. Yes, it is. It's working right now. And if you let go and you give up your investment in the situation completely and trust that infinite intelligence has this, it's going to be like that. But the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. Abundance of peace. That's your inheritance. That is the kingdom of heaven that is within you. Within that peace, that's why in our talismans, we always have peace as our first goal. It's not because it's the right thing to do. It's the holy way to be. It's because it's the practical thing to do, because that's where all the goodies are. Peace is an all-inclusive deal. If you get the abundance and peace and you delight in it, that's how you inherit the earth. That's how you get everything you could need. All of your prosperity, all of your love, all of your good relationships, all of the health, all of whatever you need. You seek peace first, and all of that stuff comes to you. The wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. There's a lot of gnashing of teeth in the Old Testament. Bruxism was a big deal back then. The wicked plotting against the just is an internal process as much as it is things that you can see outside of yourself. And it's always tension. And if there's always tension, meaning that gnashing of teeth, that means it's not infinite intelligence's will. And anything that goes against infinite intelligence's will can't ultimately happen. Therefore, it can only exist within the realm of an illusion. And if you're putting your focus and faith on infinite intelligence and you're resting in the Lord, meaning you're just, you're letting go of all that tension, you're not gnashing your teeth, then nothing can touch you. Then you're automatically and immediately delivered from any of that, because you're living in the real world and they're living in a pseudo-reality. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. And that's a wonderful image that recurs in the Psalms, the Lord laughing. It's not so much the Lord's going, ha ha ha, and making fun. It's the Lord is laughing at the silliness of the whole thing. Once you look at a dream, when you awaken from the dream and you think, boy, that seemed so real, but it's no big deal. It wasn't anything. It was just a phantasm. It's just funny. And that's the way that the Lord shall laugh at him, that you think that this was a big deal. You think you had power to harm. You thought you were being attacked. You thought you were being avenged. All of this was just nothing, because in reality, all there is the peace of the Lord. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. So that's what the ego does. The ego is always ready to attack. And it always wants to enroll us in that. Just like, you got to be ready. You got to be ready. You got to defend yourself. You better get ready. And the psalmist is saying, don't do that. Don't do that, because all that's going to do is completely immerse you in the problem. You let go of all of that and you rest in the Lord, and it is taken care of for you. Because remember that peace is all inclusive. And so when you go for peace and you let go and you allow infinite intelligence to take care of it for you, you have nothing to worry about. The sword shall enter into their own heart and their bows shall be broken. It's just the way that evil destroys itself. And yeah, you're probably going to see, if you've got real enemies in the world that are out to get you, as you let go of your investment in them, as you work this kind of magic, very frequently you will see it boomerang back on them. But that's not our goal here. It's just part of what happens. It's not our goal to see them harmed. It's not our goal to get delight in their undoing. Our goal is to get delight in the Lord and let it take care of it all for us. And all of that will ultimately get cleaned up for them too. Ultimately, they're going to have to come to the realization that they were on the wrong track. And there will be a point at which even you and your greatest enemies will reconcile. Because as souls, you're not enemies, only as egos. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. It almost sounds like it's saying, at least you're righteous, so it's okay if you only have a crust of bread. You don't want their wealth. That's not quite right. The idea that by being tense, wicked, defensive, offensive, attacking could bring you anything of value is the problem. You have to understand that it's not that you will have a little, it's that you will have everything when you rest in the Lord. Meaning that you let go of your investment in this problem, you let go of your investment in anything other than infinite intelligence, then the treasury of the entire kingdom is open unto you for your use. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous. And that's just the truth. Now, it's not that these people's arms are going to be broken, but the thought forms will be. The thought forms must be broken because they're not real. They're just phantasms, and they seem so real in this world. I know they do. So we're not saying, oh, don't believe it. It's just an illusion. Don't protect yourself. What we're saying is that it's not what you think it is, and that if you go to infinite intelligence, as it's being talked about in this psalm, it will be taken care of for you. All of those problems will be broken, so to speak, but you won't be. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. And forever means now, and forever means infinite. Your inheritance is everything that infinite intelligence created. You get all of it. The only thing you don't get is all the stuff that we made up all by ourselves. And we don't want any of that because that's where our problems lie. And that's also why we shouldn't try to, of ourselves, decide, okay, this is something I want to keep and this is something I want to let go of, because we don't know. But infinite intelligence does know. That's why we want God's judgment, because God's judgment does the sorting out for us so that we don't keep the things that are going to harm us and hurt us. A lot of times the ego is so sly and cunning that it'll have us throw away everything that is righteous and keep all of the things that hurt us under the guise of, I'm doing the right thing. So we don't want that. We want infinite intelligence to do it for us. So that's the Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. So the evil time and the days of famine, that's what this world gets to offer us. This world is always more. There's more famine, there's more evil, there's more problems. There's always something. There's always some awful stuff ready to happen, but you don't have to worry about it. It's saying that you're protected, you're being uplifted, you're being raised above the battleground, and your job is to not get involved in it. Your job is to do the Four of Swords, where you withdraw from the conflict completely and then move into that peace. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume, into smoke shall they consume away. That's how it is. We want all of those evil thought forms, all of those wicked thought forms that are constantly trying to destroy us, self-destruct, cause problems with our relationships, cause conflicts, give us pain, give us suffering, give us tragedy, all of the legion of demons that the ego mind seems to want to come up with. We want to allow those things to perish. We want to allow those things to go up in a puff of smoke. The wicked borroweth and payeth not again, but the righteous showeth mercy and giveth. The ego mind is a liar. It's all it does. It doesn't know anything but lies because the truth burns it. The truth destroys the ego. So the ego never will tell you the truth. So that's borrowing and not paying again. It's always going to try to borrow from you and never pay you anything back. It's always going to try to borrow your innocence. It's always going to try to borrow your prosperity, borrow your health, borrow your peace of mind from you. And it's never going to pay you back. The righteous showeth mercy and giveth. And that's the trick. What you give is what you receive. So watch what you're giving. Watch what you're giving, because what you're giving to anybody, whether it's good or evil, is what you are creating for yourself. For such as be blessed of him shall inherit the earth, and they that be cursed of him shall be cut off. inheriting the earth again. You want to inherit the earth because the earth is, in this sense, what infinite intelligence wants manifest in your life. You want your inheritance of the earth, not the earth as you made it. There's two different earths. There's the earth where everything is permanently perfect. That's heaven on earth. That's also called Eden in the Old Testament, which is still where we are alive and we're just asleep. Remember, Adam fell asleep, never woke up again? That's where we are. We are all Adam. Because before Adam fell asleep, Adam wasn't a guy. It wasn't a dude. Adam was the divine androgyne. It wasn't until after Adam fell asleep that Eve got extracted or the genders got split. So that's where you are already. You are going to inherit that same earth when you wake up. And right now, you will wake up as God gently opens up your eyes. But the first thing you have to do is find that rest in the Lord, find that peace. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. You don't have to worry about making mistakes. You ask infinite intelligence to guide you, and when you make a mistake, you ask infinite intelligence to undo the consequences of those mistakes. You keep coming back to it again and again. I have been young and now I am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Now this is the psalmist, this is the teacher, this is like your inner guide saying, I've been around since the beginning of time, and you're never going to see where a soul gets forsaken by infinite intelligence. It doesn't happen. Nor are you going to see a soul needing anything. So you rest in the Lord and all your needs will be met. He is ever merciful and lendeth, and his seed is blessed, meaning as you give, you so receive. What you give is what you will receive. Watch what you're extending in this world, because whatever it is that you're giving, you're going to get more of. And so you want your seed to be blessed. The only way that is by allowing infinite intelligence to guide you. Depart from evil and do good, and dwell forevermore. Again, just resting in the Lord and eternally having peace. For the Lord loveth judgment and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. You are one of the saints in this regard. Now, the saints also can be looked at as the software that's pre-installed in you when you were created. So that's another way to look at saints. But in this regard, we look at the saint as being you, as a soul. God doesn't forsake God's souls. You're preserved forever. The wicked is what's going to be cut off. And the wicked are those ego thought forms that are trying to pull you away from God. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. And forever is in the present moment. So you want to find that place where you can dwell in peace for at least a few minutes every day, where you just let go of all tension and all defense and do nothing but let infinite intelligence take over. And the more you can do that, the more that becomes the norm for you, and you start seeing things really changing. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. And you want your mouth to speak of wisdom and your tongue to talk of judgment, and the way you do that is you ask. You ask what to say. You ask what to do. Not only that, but you allow your words to reflect that which you want, wisdom, and not complaining, not bemoaning, not gossiping, not chastising, not saying horrible things about other people. That's not saying that you can't tell people what you think. That's not saying that you can't be honest about the fact that you don't like something that's happening, but you're not going to use your words as a weapon. The law of God is in his heart, and none of his steps shall slide. That means you don't have to worry about making mistakes. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. You need to watch that in yourself. Are you out to get somebody? We all do that. We don't think we do, but we all do it. Just noticing that when it happens, just say, oh, I don't want that. I would rather have infinite intelligence guide me than to make up my own mind. So you got to watch in your own motivations what your intentions are, and be very vigilant about that. Don't just assume that you're perfect at every moment of time and point of space, because sometimes we are motivated by our ego minds. Actually, often we are, and we want to stop that. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. You don't have to worry about God forsaking you. You don't have to worry about God forgetting about you. You don't have to worry about God sending you to hell. You don't have to worry about all that nonsense. That's not how God works. God loves you, end of story. God wants you happy, end of story. God wants you peaceful, end of story. God wants all of the problems that you're experiencing to be resolved, end of story. Wait on the Lord and keep his way. I'm going to rest in the Lord, but I'm also going to ask how I can serve. Keep his way, be guided and led on every step, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, so he shall see it. You're going to see the evidence when your ego mind and the ego minds of others no longer affect your life. You're going to see very clear-cut evidence of this, and you can expect it. You can expect the results of this spell to happen right away. I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. That's the thing. We think these evil people are so powerful, and then the ego tries to convince us that it is so powerful. No, you don't need to be thinking about peace. You don't need to be thinking about infinite intelligence. You need to get in there and fix this. You're the one that's powerful. It's up to you. You don't want to buy that. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. Once your ego thoughts and their manifestations are taken care of by a spell such as this, it's as if the remnants of them are gone. And that's what happens when an illusion is gone. Once the movie's over and the lights come on in the theater, you don't say, wait, what happened to that person? Where did that person on the screen go? Are they okay? You don't think like that because you realize it was just a movie. And you're going to see the same thing with this. It's going to be like, oh, of course it's not happening anymore because that movie is over. That was just an illusion. It was taken care of for me. Mark the perfect man and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace. That's your goal, is peace. The end of that man is peace, meaning that's where you're headed. That's where your goal is. That's where your destination is. So if you find peace first, you don't have to walk anymore. It's a destination that has no distance. So if you find that peace, then there's nothing more for you to do except for accept the benefits of it. Because you are then living in the world of infinite intelligence. And the ego and all of its manifestations can't abide peace. They can't live in it. They can't enter it. If you're at peace, they can't touch you. But as soon as you're tempted out of peace and you're tempted into thinking for yourself and acting on your own and going out there and fighting and getting all involved in it, then you get what you get. Then you're right there with the wicked, as they call it here in the psalm. But the transgressors shall be destroyed together. The end of the wicked shall be cut off. Eventually, you're going to find peace because you've been cut off again and again. That's the natural outcome of any interaction with the ego is pain, is tragedy, is problem after problem. So you just learn to withdraw from those situations, turn your focus to infinite intelligence, find that peace, rest in the infinite, and allow the infinite to take over. It always works. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord. He is their strength in the time of trouble. There you go. Strength is sphere number 5. That's Mars, Samael. So it's not like God's a wimp and, just relax and you'll get through this. No, relax and let Samael take over. You got the ultimate warrior that knows exactly how to destroy whatever needs to be destroyed, but it's done for you, not by you. You try to destroy, you try to be at war, you're going to mess it up in a way that you don't even want because it's just more pain, more turmoil. The Lord is your strength in the time of trouble, and the Lord shall help them and deliver them. It's just how it works. It's not because, okay, I will help you. Boy, I'm sick of you calling on me though. Can't you ever figure this stuff out? It's not like you have to petition and say, please, will you help me? That's all infinite intelligence wants, is to help you. That's all its goal is, to help you, to restore you to peace, to restore you to sanity, to restore you to safety. That's all that infinite intelligence wants. You are important to infinite intelligence. You are just as important as every other soul. Mother Teresa's not more important to infinite intelligence than you are. Nobody is more important than you, but nobody's less important than you either. And so the Lord shall keep them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them, because they trust in him. He shall do it, not you. You don't know how to do it. I know you want to know how. I know you think that you should know how. I know you think that you know what to do, and if only you could just get in there and fix it, that it'll all be better, but you don't. I know that I struggle with that. But I have to remind myself, I don't know how to get through this, but infinite intelligence does and wants to fix it. So do I want to stand in my way some more, or do I want to let it happen? Then all I have to do is rest in the Lord. All I have to do is find that peace. That's all that is necessary. So you just keep coming back to the psalm each and every day until you get a sense of peace and certainty about the situation at hand. And then your spell has taken and you don't have to work it anymore. You can go on to something else. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, blessed be.